Support for Donnybrook Last Call is provided in part by Design Air Heating and Cooling.
Thank you for joining us. We are on just about in the weekend, and this weekend, October 11th, a 10th and 11th, a movie shot in St. Louis about a St. Louisan with a lot of St. Louis scenes is going to open at theaters, not only here but nationwide. It's called Soul on Fire, stars William H. Macy and others. Bill, you've seen it, and since this is a rare occasion, a movie being shot in St. Louis, do you think it's a matter of civic pride that people should go to the theater and watch this movie?
Well, I think they'll enjoy it if they do. Civic pride, I did feel a certain civic pride. I mean, Jack Buck, who was legendary character, how iconic is he? He is a big star in this, and John O'Leary, the young man, not so young anymore, who it's about is a heroic figure, and Tiffany's Diner in Maplewood on Manchester is seen in it, and I've always liked Tiffany's Diner. And I think it's a good thing to go see a movie about St. Louis, made in St. Louis.
Go ahead.
There's all these little St. Louis spots throughout this movie. You can tell they filmed the entire thing on location. And so you could have fun watching this and just being like, oh, there's Mercy Hospital. Oh, here's the St. Louis University dorm. It's also a really good, uplifting story. It's not my kind of movie in that it's not cynical and dark. But man, I was so touched by it. I was like crying, and my husband, he's gonna kill me for saying this, but he was sitting there and I'm like, oh, he's crying. There was not a dry eye in that house.
I emailed Sarah after she saw the movie, and she said, it just wasn't dark enough for me, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought she sounds like a girl after my own heart in terms of movies. But when it comes to civic duty, I don't know about civic duty. I mean, I think we should all be inspired to go and see this incredible story. But I'd like for the folks to start with, maybe in terms of civic duty, paying their personal property taxes and getting their tags,
voting,
that kind of thing, voting. Yeah. So let's not make it too hard on them trying to pass civics class.
I mean, I probably won't go see it because it doesn't.
You'll wait until it's on.
I mean, I probably won't.
You'll watch it when it's on Netflix.
On Netflix, or come on cable, like I do with a lot of movies. But I mean,
then
what?
Revoke his St. Louis card.
I don't think you're obligated to go, see a movie because the late Jack Buck is in it. Or
well, how about Terry Schnook from Schnook's? He was,
right, the
producer or whatever.
You know who's not in it? Me. I gotta. Hey, next movie, I'm available. Right.
It's not Guys and Dolls at Newark's High School.
No, I'm talking about Pulp Fiction 2, shot in St. Louis. Just cursed throughout the entire thing.
No, that Terry Schnook is an amazing guy. Do you know he lives among us and he has 4 Tonys, and he was nominated for 4 others, but this is his first foray into Hollywood. And I hope that we can put him across the finish line so that maybe more movies will be shot here.
And it's a great thing that movies are shot here, that television programs can be shot here, that we have the tax credit again that we didn't have for a long time. Those are good things. I'm just making fun. I may not go see this movie, but I want every movie, every commercial, every television program, as many things as we can get to St. Louis. That's good for us.
That's right.
Wendy, I want to ask you about front page above the fold story in the Post-Dispatch that people were picking up litter on Gravois, and also this week KMOV Channel 4 had a story that there was litter of an unusual kind, a basketball billboard on 270 near Manchester. And in both cases, people are kind of asking, why is there so much litter in our town? And this is a recurring story. It seems as if we talk about it, read about it, and the situation is not getting better.
Well, being a social scientist, as I am, because I'm on social media, that makes me an expert. Seriously, I do think that we have become, since COVID, I'm not going to blame the tornado because that's too recent, but since COVID, there is a whole lot of it's all about me, and the rest of you are just supporting players in a movie about me. So if it is inconvenient for me to hang on to the garbage in my car, then I'm just going to throw it out the window because it's all about me. We all have our own little talk radio stations on social media where we, sort of chart the course for the day and the way the discussion goes. And I think it's a lot like this. We used to actually think about the greater good. What's sad for me is like driving to Westport every day that I don't do that anymore. But I would see, I've mentioned it before, I'd see coffee tables, end tables, couches, lamps. I mean, it was like, what happened? But that I think truckers are not securing the loads like they used to. I think there's a whole lot of oversight that isn't happening anymore. So it makes me sad and very sick to see it. But what's really sad is that I'm not seeing it as much as I used to. I'm not even, what I mean is I'm not noticing it.
Just used
I was just, all right,
Wow.
lest
Yeah.
you think that this is not a true story, I was traveling to the other side of the state on Monday morning, and when I was on 270 North, headed toward 40, I saw the basketball goal. And my first
Jeez.
thought was, basketball goal on the side of the highway. Kept right on driving, didn't
even
feel any
register.
obligation to dial like a, 911. It said, just FYI, there's a whole basketball goal
Yeah.
on the highway.
Yeah.
So, you become immune to it in a way. I think that I don't know how many people were dedicated to picking up trash on the highway pre-COVID or 10 or 15 years ago. But I think the amount of trash has increased while the number of people or hours that are devoted to keeping
that
the
way.
highway clean have been reduced. So the two things together have led to more stuff.
I feel like MoDOT kind of made a mistake with killing its Adopt a Highway program. They said, having these volunteers out there, we're worried about the risk to them, and it's more trouble to supervise them than it's worth. I don't know. I feel like that has made the highways worse. I will also say, if there are any neighborhoods that you go to, in the city at least, where you don't see a lot of trash around, I have now become aware that that's because there's a couple of dedicated volunteers in those neighborhoods who are just going out multiple times a week to just clean things up. It just seems terrible that that's what this all rests on, and yet that is what it rests on.
And what is the solution? I mean, should we arrest people or fine them?
Make them pick up the litter. Just make them pick up the litter for
Chain gang?
It's tough to find if someone's throwing it out.
Oh, I like that idea.
Arizona does have not chain gangs, but they use the incarcerated, and they pay them. And you got to admit, if you face 24 hours or 23 hours a day in a cell, and the choice is, you want to go out and pick up some litter, you'll take that.
fresh air.
If I were the St. Louis County police chief, all right, I would have, after the basketball goal was taken off the highway, I think I would have went to the whoever and said, listen, I know this is going to cost money, but let's mess with somebody. Let's dust this thing.
Fingerprints.
And find some fingerprints and see if they match anybody's and show up and say hey, we have your fingerprints on a basketball
Your
goal that would
DNA.
find just to terrorize somebody a little bit and to get it in the paper that we trace this back to you.
that.
And just to let, people
I don't know.
know.
I think there's something inside the Beltway. When I go beyond the St. Louis proper area and beyond the county, and I start getting into Chesterfield, Lake St. Louis, and far, I don't see the litter out there. And I wonder if MoDOT is doing a better job of picking up the litter elsewhere, because when I drive to Columbia, which I do every once in a while, I don't see litter out
But
there.
that's concentration of people too. I mean, I didn't see as much as I can driving from Washington State till you got back
I don't
to
see it in St. Charles and St. Peter's.
I like this conspiracy theory. It's not that we're messier in the city; it's that we're being neglected by MoDOT.
Especially since we're the financial engine as far as
Right.
providing most of the taxes.
Right? They should do
Exactly.
And
their
it's
The
not
money
share.
going to us.
The money should be spent on picking it up, since we generate so much in the gasoline tax, which goes to MoDOT. That's my theory.
Yeah,
Well,
but you're right about
With
people.
Alvin terrorizing a few people.
Just get it out there that
Well, why not, instead of Weatherbird, Jailbird, right next to Weatherbird, where somebody, Weatherbird Litterbug.
Litterbug?
And then have
Public
somebody.
shame?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
down.
think that's a big,
Right.
that is
Hey.
an untapped resource.
Final topic, and then we'll spring y'all. Alvin Roosevelt High School decided to end its football program this season after 4 games. Tragically, they lost a coach who died. Another coach, maybe the head coach, got ill, and they're only down to 20 players right now. So these guys are just sitting around now after school, not playing football. Couldn't something have been done?
Well, I think if it happens in the middle of a season, you can't disperse the players to go play elsewhere with other teams. Had it happened before the season, maybe you could have figured out something. During the season, it's tough because you lost the coaches. But I've heard that, well, why don't you just let them play? They're gutsy kids and want to finish out. You can't do it with 20 because that is a safety hazard. And I know they want to play, but I really don't think there's anything that you can do for those kids right now.
Wait, that's so sad. Like, I hate that so much of sports in America is becoming something that like rich kids can do, who can like pay for the expensive club infrastructure, and we're making it harder and harder.
But there aren't enough kids in
I know.
that
Well,
school.
this is
It's
indicative, too,
always
that we have too many schools in the city for the number of kids. I mean, when you have a high school in the city that can only get 22 kids or 30 kids out for football.
And they lost. Some people left the team and all that. They had more. But if you start this, let's say you start the season with 30 kids, there's a chance that you might have to end your season because of injury,
Right.
defections, whatever.
Right.
Kids move a lot in the city, unlike other municipalities. You know,
I think
too.
Misha should have given them a special dispensation and said, okay,
That
if
would've
you
been
can
nice.
find another team to play for.
Yeah.
That would've
Well,
been-
given the
All
circumstances.
right, okay,
But-
yeah. And guess where all the star players would have gone? To the
That's right.
star schools.
That's
and
right.
the kids that just wanted to play football would have just said, we don't want you. Right.
Yeah.
Good point. Hey, and on that note, we hope you join us next week for another edition of Last Call. Have a good one, and don't forget your civic duty.